Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton of markrushtongallery.com. It's it's Valentine's Day. Oh, it's always someday, right? It's the stupid bowl, or it's the whatever solstice something or other. The who knows something month, this day, that day, whatever. I don't care. Pay attention to that crap, and you shouldn't either. Or you can. I really don't care. But it's been a while since I've thumbed through a book, even though I go to the library often. Um, mm, I been looking for a good one. Looking for a good book recently to kind of profile, because I have done this in the past, mostly art books and drawing books and different things, and that's kind of led me down different roads, and I appreciate that. And I like to go through the books a little bit on camera, and this is one that I might once I skimmed it at the library, and it was just irresistible. I could not do anything else but check it out and bring it home, because I wanted to read more of it. I wanted to read some of it on camera and kind of react to it. So this is a book from 2020 by this guy, The Death of the Artist: How Creators Are Struggling to Survive in the Age of Billionaires and Big Tech. Uh, well, you know, struggling to survive. You know, I've been at it for so long. There's no struggle, right? There's just do. There's just where is it? Where's the oh, I don't know if it's on this computer here, but the 10 rules for artists and teachers by Sister Karita Kent and John Cage, mostly by Sister Karita Kent. Number 7, the rule number 7, the only rule is work. Work. If you work, it will lead to things. Anyway, this is interesting, and that's funny they used red. And The Death of the Artist. Who's on the back cover here? Roseanne Cash. She used to be married. Wasn't she married to Nick Lowe? And I think at one time she put the C back in country. This is a family channel, but she once said that, and then I think she had dialed that back a little bit there, but it's a good line. I must say, it's a good line. Then these other people who, never heard of. So I'm sure they're distinguished and they win awards, and they wrote some books that they're in libraries just gathering dust, like most books in libraries. My God, I go through the library and I'm just like, does anybody check out that old Al Franken book? Does anybody? When's the last time that went out? I'm just curious. Or the George W. Bush portrait books, and there's 2 of them. There's one that went to like every library on the planet, and then there's a second one that, oh boy, every library has that book. Oh, the second one, I didn't even know there was a second one until I was going through the art section of a library, and oh my God, there's a second edition. just what the world wants. Another book of George W. Bush portraits. Anyway, so $28 for this book. Thank God I went to the library, right? So let's go through the book jacket here, and then I'm just gonna skim here a little bit, and then we're gonna get to the book painting. We'll do a book painting here in a little bit. But there are 2 stories you hear about earning a living as an artist in the digital age. One comes from Silicon Valley. There's never been a better time to be an artist, it goes. I think that's true. If you've got a laptop, you got a recording studio. If you got an iPhone, you got a movie camera. And this is a laptop the broadband, and I get this $45 720p camera and $25 a month StreamYard, and where you're watching this, somebody's watching this at some point in time. Production is cheap. Distribution is free. Well, almost free. It's called the internet. Everyone's an artist. Just tap your creativity and put your stuff out there. The other comes from artists themselves. Sure, it goes, you can put your work out there, but who's going to pay you for it? Everyone is not an artist. I love this. See, this artists make it so difficult for themselves. Just right here. Just this first couple of sentences, 3 sentences here. 4, 5. This is this paragraph here. Artists make it so difficult for themselves. They really do. And that's a criticism of other artists by me. And there are other people out there that criticize artists for having that attitude. Like they showed up and they drew something, or they worked on a song, or they found some chords, and then they won an award, and the world's just not going to fall at your feet, guys. I mean, unless you what's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Right? So, like the rich kids, they have no problem because they get their rich daddy, right? Everybody else, what do we call ourselves? Working class, right? Scrapping it out. But then, if you actually make it to any degree, as far as earning some sort of a living as an artist or a writer, musician, whatever in the arts, then at some point, the mob comes for you, right? It's like, well, who cares if he considers himself working class in the middle of nowhere? It's a he, and I've got this and the plumbing, and sorry, shut up. Get out of here. You're gonna take this outside? Not a problem. Everyone is not an artist. Everyone can be an artist. Everyone, don't be snobs. Don't be snobs. Making art takes years of dedication. Well, that's true. I'll say that. And it requires a means of support. In my case, it was my day job. Oh, no, don't say I have to get a day job. That's what I did. Art school dropout right here. I dropped out of art school to get the full-time job. Smartest move I ever made. I got to say, dropping out of art school. What am I supposed to do? Go into debt, tens and tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and get my BFA and MFA and my MA and my doctorate in drawing and painting and saxophone and whatever. Am I supposed to do that? Well, then the riches are going to come, right? I don't know. Sorry for the rant. If things don't change, a lot of art will cease to be sustainable. Well, some of it should cease to be sustainable. Ooh, I saw some today. Oh, my God. There's a niche for everything. And thank God they were able to sell or lease that work or whatever, where I saw it today. But it's just like, oh, man, I would never paint anything like that. So what you count is true. Since people are still making a living as artists today, how are they managing to do it? This guy, whose name I can't pronounce, a leading critic of the arts and of contemporary culture, set out to answer those questions. Based on interviews with artists of all kinds, The Death of the Artist argues that we are in the midst of an epical we're in a transformation. If artists were artisans in the Renaissance, bohemians in the 19th century, professionals in the 20th, a new paradigm is emerging in the digital age. One is changing the fundamental of it. This will be interesting to read. So I got in here and messed around in here, and it talks about it talks about the economics of everything in here, income dropping, and and then it little quotes from different people here and there. We got Kim Deal in here, and we've got, from, wasn't she in the Pixies or the Breeders or the something or others? Are they Amps? Yeah, I know my band. I think I know my bands. Wait in the car. I got business, right? You know. And then we get in here the budget for the National Endowment for the Arts. That's always hilarious. That's talk about the old boy network. Woo! Kickstarter. Oh my God. What else we get in here? 600,000 bands. Let's see. 217. SoundCloud carried music by 10 million artists. The Kindle store added 1 million books. 50,000. What? When Greenberg says it's the lottery, he isn't kidding. Of the books available on Kindle, they're now over 6 million. 68% sell fewer than 2 copies a month. Oh no, we must have limitations. The overwhelming majority of those 6 million are self-published. The independent authors are fewer than 2,000, or at least $25,000 a year on the site. It's the same thing with music, They're just like all the popular people are making all the money on Spotify. Well, that's true. That's true. When has that never been true? What should we go back to the good old days? Should we go back to the good old days of the of recording contracts? Which let me stop right here. My rant. De La Soul, one of the members of De La Soul died recently, and this is years and years and years and years and years after them trying to get their recordings out on streaming services. It's years and years getting the rights. They eventually got the rights back, and then they found out their contract, they were only going to get 10% of the income, and so they had to go back to court or deal with it or whatever. Anyway, all that stuff's supposed to come out here in a couple of weeks. 3 Feet High and Rising, fantastic album, absolute classic. Those guys single-handedly made Hall & Oates cool. They did. And anyway, so the one member, he just died recently. It sucks that that the contracts of yore, they were taking 85-90% of the money after recouping advances, and so anyway, what else is in here? A paltry 1 million streams will only get you between $700 and $6,000. Well, it's more on the high side there, and it depends on the system, and you're just going to rely on streaming. I mean, I don't know. Oh God. So anyway, that's great. Amanda Palmer and her Kickstarter. That's great. Here's that guy. So anyway, it was an interesting read. I went through it, and of course, I immediately have a lot of contempt for the artists in here that ramble on, especially when they were talking. I read a little section about like New York, and they're like, "Oh, we're getting priced out of New York," and then it was like the artists in Oakland, "Oh, we're getting priced out of Oakland," and it's just like, and I've said for years that artists, why not move to the sticks, man? Why not move to the sticks? It's super cheap. You can focus on your work. You can order supplies from anywhere. You can do video like this. Why not? Why not? But the artists in this book, so many of them are just like, why can't I live in a basement in New York City? Oh my God, why can't I? It was never easy for artists. Look at the history of Andy Warhol. He moved from wherever, Pennsylvania, and he was living in just these little roachy infested apartments back in the 50s, drawing naked guys all night, and shoes during the day, and it's just trying to make it right. And anyway, not easy for him, but he persevered, and what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Well, that's enough for me here. The Death of the Artist. It's an interesting book. It's an interesting book. It's got the usual woe is me artist claptrap in there, but that's from the artist. But then it's also got the. It seems like it is. It's why is this? It seems like it's a thoughtful with regard to the modern era, but we'll see. We'll see here. We'll see. I make book paintings. This is what I've been doing here the last couple of months. I've been working on these book paintings. So these books, they were going to be thrown out, and this one turned out fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. That one turned out very, very nice. Got that landscape motif in there, and you can see the letters and words and everything like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So what I want to do with this here real quick is I'm going to get this on, add this to my cardstock. Just get this mounted on here, and then we'll start on the new one. Multiple proximity matrices. What's the multiple of a matrix? It's a matrice. There you go. Why didn't they call that movie The Matrices? It was The Matrix. There's only one. I tried to watch The Matrix. It didn't do anything for me. And now I look back at some of the scenes and like the sequels, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to watch this. I kind of gave up movies. Once my kids were born, I just kind of gave up on cinema. And I used to be a big cinema nut. Used to be a big movie nut. That looks good. All right, on to the new. On to the new. What do we got tonight? This sad sack of a book. So what's my advice for artists? What do you know? Guys, if you don't have rich parents and you're not a sexy young thing in a bikini that, wants to paint on camera, or a, ripped dude that, However, if you're not young and beautiful, and I'm not, then you're going to have to, you're just going to have to work it, man. Do not go to art school. You don't need to go to art school. You'll just come out behind. Oh, maybe I'll become a teacher. My kids, they had somebody with their doctorate teaching art in junior high. Like, are you kidding me? That's sad. Oh, she got extra money. They all got extra money because they get their masters and all that. That's a racket. They get paid more because they get that degree. It's true. If I was a teacher, I'd do it. Why not, right? Get more for your masters. Maybe they give you a little bit for the PhD. I don't know. Why not? Take advantage of everything. But go into debt for art school? Tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars? No way. No way, man. I went into debt for art school. Listen, art school was fine, but it was once I discovered computers and that, I could do that, and I was pretty good with, everything, and boy, they wanted me. They wanted me for the to get the work done, right? What do we got tonight? We're gonna do some blue here. Nothing wrong with having a job and then doing this on the side. I know you're gonna have to give up some things, right? You're gonna have to give up. You have to give up watching TV and playing around on the internet and then doing this all night with your phone. Those guys I see at the gym, and the girls too, mostly the guys, doing that. Drinking the Kool-Aid, eating the edibles. You have to work it every night. You have to. What in the world was that snot bugger that came? Oh my God! Look at that. Oh, it's some. Ooh, this is. It's the end of the line for this jar. Let me tell you. So you have to work constantly. Every day. Every day you're going to have to work. I don't want to. Well, I don't. I do something every day, right? I may not work on paintings every single day, 5 or 6 days a week, but it's what you got to do. Can I get away with this? Oh yeah, let's get away with this here. What else was I going to do? Where's all the goodies here? I got quite a crowd tonight. Oh my God. Sarah 2.0. Matrices. Matrices. Yeah, whatever. Sounds good. I'm probably talking too loud. I gotta be quiet. You see these articles all the time about the artists. Or the artist can't, they can't afford to do this, and why should they have a day job? And tech sucks, and yeah, tech sucks. All the mistakes I've made as far as my art is concerned. Oh my God, you don't even want to know. And being a kind of a recording artist type fella, trying to scratch out a living from that after 20 years, which I do. But I don't. So many musicians, they just and recording artists, they're locked into a groove, man. They want everything to go their way, and it's like, yeah, didn't work that way. They want to blame everything on Daniel Ek or Steve Jobs or. Hold on here. Get my wires crossed. Throw these layers on, otherwise, you're not going to get there. What do I always say? It's the old AC/DC. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, right? That old song. You should go watch. I always say it to everybody. Go look up the video of Bon Scott, 1969, singing "Build Me Up, Buttercup." It's out there. What? Oh yes, "Build Me Up, Buttercup." Where he's got a puffy shirt on, and he's singing "Build Me Up, Buttercup." Whatever the hell that song goes. It's out there. It's Bon Scott. Old dirty deeds done dirt cheap. And, highway to hell. No, build me up, Buttercup. Guess what? It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Everybody left. No one wants to see how this painting turns out. That's all right. That's okay. I got all night here. So what I do is I do kind of a reductive technique here on this. It's kind of a mess. Yeah, so I get a little ranty about the art thing just because there's just I don't know what there is. It's a feeling. There's a lot of artists out there and they feel like there's just no, like, society does not value them. That is cached. They feel like society does not value the artist. And you know what? Society does not value the artist. And you just, I don't know what you want. What do you guys want? I want to work. I don't want to work. I just want to paint all day. That's good. I wouldn't want to paint all day unless I was a painter, like a house painter, something like that. And even then, I don't think I'd want to do that. But I get on here every night, or most nights, work the paintings, talk a little bit about art, show off the art books, slowly moving the needle, right? After rebooting. Yeah, the guy wants to kind of, it looks like he's kind of, what would I say? He's sort of framing it. They always like to pit one group against each other. So this, I guess, is going to be the artists and the tech guys, right? So we're gonna, and I have no problem hating on the tech guys. I'll tell you what, those tech guys, Zuckerberg lets scammers onto his sites, his properties, Instagram and Facebook. Oh my God, they target artists, all the time. Hey, my wife really loves your art, and we really want to buy it, but we want to buy it as an NFT, right? And we're on vacation right now. And do you take what's that crap? Xylitol, erythrium, crypto, whatever the hell. Do you take that? Oh, I don't have my credit card available right now. We can't do this normally. We gotta have to do it a different way, right? Zuckerberg lets all those bots and scammers and people onto Instagram, onto Meta, and it sickens me because I see artists all the time posting questions about that sort of thing, and they say, I'm not sure about this, but boy, they want to buy, $2,000 or $7,000 or $30,000 worth of my art. Like, have you ever sold that much art to one person ever, or a piece that expensive? And they're like, they can't even. They haven't, and it's like, you're being scammed. Oh, I'm in Canada. We're in Bermuda. We're in France for the next, right? Like, really? Does none of this kind of, we want to pay in some weird, we want to buy it as we love your artwork, but we want to buy it as an NFT. The classic scam. And then you get artists out there like, well, it doesn't sound like a scam to me. I'm kind of on we'll see if they pay. We see if they pay. They're never going to pay. What are you talking about? Zuckerberg lets those people all over the place. They're not on your mailing list. You don't know them. Well, they can buy it you can pay for a credit card on the site. Otherwise, we're done talking. It just drives me nuts. I don't like to see people get scammed, I've really had a little bee in my bonnet tonight. This turned out great. Love this. It's got to dry. It's a little warpy warp. We'll tie it down and batten the hatches. Look at that. Just in time to use another Costco wipe. Another Costco wipe. Welcome to Costco. I love you. Listen, if you want to do art full time, you're just gonna have to. You got to figure out. You got to figure out. You got to get it in front of eyeballs. You got to figure out distribution. You have to figure out how to keep your costs down. You got to learn a few things about business. You got to live somewhere cheap. Sorry. It's just the way it is, baby. Right? You just haven't earned it yet, baby. Right? That's great. That's wonderful. Let's keep dishing that same advice out, because you know what? The longest time, I didn't earn it either. I still haven't earned it here. So I'm working on it, right? Working on it. My kid could make this. Well, let's see your kid get on. Let's see your kid. Let's go ahead. There's room for everybody. I'm not concerned in the least bit. Working it. Mark Rushton. I know I'm cranky. Mark Rushton, MarkRushtonGallery.com. It's getting late. Thanks for hanging out with me, drinking a little bit of kefir. It's Kelowna Supernatural, 100% organic, vanilla kefir, made with Amish and Mennonite cows, and it's got the probiotics. It's good for you because gut health equals brain health. And don't do drugs, kids. Do kefir. And if you must, do something like kombucha or probiotic drinks. Don't end up look. You don't end up like. Listen. Be more like Susanna Hoffs. Be less like Madonna. Don't go for second best, baby. See you later. Have a good night.